As somebody who shoots both video and stills, I'm always looking for a way to capture motion in my still images, since stills are still so much easier to capture and share. So I developed this very easy and quick post-processing technique to show the motion of a bird flying through the sky when it's silhouetted. And I promise it's so easy, we can do it in just a couple of minutes. First, when you're taking the picture of the bird, put your camera in continuous shooting mode, shoot with a wide angle, and then just hold the shutter down, trying to keep the same framing. Let the bird just fly through the frame. You might just have to hang out in a place where there are birds and just wait for them to come. Just keep shooting and keep shooting. I must have taken pictures of 20 different birds flying through the sky to settle on these 3 different images. Once you have that collection of pictures, load them into Lightroom or whatever, and we're just going to open them up as layers in Photoshop. So I've just selected all these pictures. I've made all the changes I'm going to make to the raw images, just make the exact same changes to all the same raw images. Then you'll right click, edit in, and then open as layers in Photoshop. I've done that already. So Photoshop here has all the layers selected. You can see all these different pictures. If I hide this top layer, you can see the second below it. I was hand holding this, so you can see as I switch between those 2 images, they don't quite line up. So I'm going to select all these layers, click the first, shift click the last, and then edit, auto align layers. Photoshop is now going to think for a bit, and then it's going to line all those different layers up for me. I'm still only going to see the top photo once it's done though. Now that Photoshop's aligned everything, we can see a slightly bigger picture, and the edges are a little uneven because it just had to stack up all these different pictures together. Now what we're going to do is to change the blending mode of these layers. So this time I'm going to select all the layers except for the bottom one. So I'm clicking the top layer, and then I'm shift clicking the next to last layer. And now instead of the blending mode here being normal, I'm going to set this to darken. And bam. Suddenly we can see every shot that I took. This works. It won't work with every type of picture. This works because it's a silhouette. Stacking silhouettes is thus very, very simple. You could do this type of technique with any picture, but it would involve manually using masks to go in. But the fact that it's a silhouette makes life very easy for us. Now this picture is basically done. You can hit C to crop out the edges here. And in fact, in my final crop, I cropped it pretty tight. But I do want to talk about the edge here. If you look here on this edge, you'll see a little bit of kind of banding where Photoshop has stacked them together and it's not quite perfect. An easy way to fix that is, if we look at the layer thumbnails here, you can see I accidentally tracked the moving bird. So this top one, this top layer is over to the left. And then at the bottom, I had shifted over to the right a little bit. So to fix that, I'm going to duplicate this layer. Let's call it the right edge. And then I'm going to drag this all the way to the top, put it there. Now you can see it hit all that other stuff. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to add a layer mask to it. The layer mask determines which parts of the layer are hidden or visible. The white parts of the layer mask here mean this part of the layer is visible, thus hiding all the lower layers. So I'm going to use my brush tool by hitting the B key. Make sure I'm painting black. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint black on this layer mask to reveal the lower layers right where the bird should be. So this step is optional, just an easy way to repair the weirdness that we had on the edge here. Now I can just hit C to crop and bring this in and just crop it down to a reasonable amount. Let's set this ratio to a good old 2:3. And I'll hit enter. And then to fill in this lower corner, you could use content aware fill, or I'm just going to actually just paint it black because it's pretty much already black. That's it. That's a great way to show motion in really just a few steps. Stack them as layers and then use the darken blend mode. If you want to learn more about Photoshop, what do you know? I have a book with 10 hours of video in it, lots of sample files to work with, lots of step-by-step procedures that you can walk through and learn tons and tons of tricks. So check it out. I also have a book on Adobe Lightroom. They you can get them both in electronic form for 25 bucks total. Check out our store and enjoy it. Subscribe, ask any questions. If you have other suggestions and stuff, write them down in the comments. Bye.